Joy busted. ABC ready to fire Behar as shocked audience reports she broke the law. Joy Behar, the controversial co-host of ABC's The View, is facing a nightmare of her own making. Shocking reports coming out of ABC say the producers are discussing firing her after she broke the law on air. The View defines itself as a news program, even though Big Mouth Behar constantly reports untruths. But, this time, she got caught saying something so inflammatory on air that it is causing a crisis for ABC. Joy Behar has been off the hook for the last 2 weeks. She was facing the wrath of millions of Americans after she made her now infamous hit at Vice President Mike Pence and Christians. It's one thing to talk to Jesus. It's another thing when Jesus talks to you. That's called mental illness, if I'm not correct, hearing voices, she said during the program on February 13. But, that's not the inflammatory statement that is potentially ending her time on The View, even though it is contributing to her downfall. 2 weeks later, on February 27, the loudmouth host went on a rant about PAC, the Conservative Political Action Committee that meets once a year for a weekend convention. ABC News The View co-host Joy Behar went after PAC on Monday, claiming the conservative conference's participants have a penchant for Nazis, while the talk show panel posited that the GOP is making life difficult for Republican women, Fox News reports. The PAC group invited this woman from France named Marine Le Pen, whose father was a Holocaust denier, and total fascist, and a Nazi, Behar said, adding that his daughter thought it was very good and right. Behar rambled on, "There's this penchant for Nazis now, among conservatives, with Charlottesville, and the neos, and they are good guys on both sides, and now, Marine Le Pen. Wow, when you call someone a Nazi and they are a major politician in France, you better make sure they are really a Nazi." Joy Behar broke the law, calling Marine Le Pen a Nazi, as she also claimed everyone at PAC was Nazi lovers. ABC is now feeling the heat as potential lawsuits could be in the works. Marine Le Pen lost the last presidential election in France by a very slim margin. She is a popular and very well-respected politician around the world. She has been estranged from her father for years over his anti-Semitic statements and disgusting views on the Holocaust. Not only that, but it was Marine Le Pen herself who expelled her father from France's National Front Party on August 20, 2015, the BBC reported. Adding to the 75-year-old Behar's problems, the Media Research Center, MRC, is carrying out a major campaign to get her fired, or if that doesn't work, push The View off the air for good. Of course, Christian groups are joining the campaign against The View and Big Mouth Behar. Christian groups are joining a campaign to hold ABC's The View accountable after co-hosts Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin made derogatory comments about Vice President Mike Pence's Christian faith, reports the Christian Broadcast Network. MRC supporters have made more than 30,000 calls to ABC demanding the network apologize for the latest comments, and several faith leaders say it's time to hit them where it hurts. What does that mean? Shut them down by going after the advertisers who support the show. Make no mistake about it, this is an assault on the sensibilities of all Christians, Bill Donahue, president of the Catholic League for Religious and Civil Rights, wrote. No advertiser can justify supporting this show any longer. When Joy Behar and others mock the faith of Mike Pence, they're using him as a stand-in for the rest of us in Middle America. It is outrageous, said Gary Bauer of the conservative group, American Values. Such bigotry against the values of millions of Americans should not be tolerated by ABC. A simple fix by ABC would be to fire the one person who is clearly the problem, Joy Behar. Since it categorizes itself as a news program and not a talk show, when Behar spews lies like Marine Le Pen is a Nazi and conservatives have a penchant for Nazis, it falls to ABC to make sure those statements are true. If not, they are open to all kinds of lawsuits for slander and defamation of character. Joy's not spouting opinion with those statements. She is presenting them as facts, and that's why ABC is considering that firing her may be the way to go. Loudmouth Behar was caught reporting a huge lie on air about General Mike Flynn on March 23, and she was made to correct it on the next show. So, this isn't the first rodeo for Behar spouting untruths. My fellow Americans, we may be finally on the eve of saying goodbye and good riddance to Joyless. Let's hope ABC sees her as a total lying liability that they can no longer afford to put on live TV.